I'm just honored to be able to bring part of God's word this morning. I'm going to be talking on unlocking your next level, finding the path to exponential growth, the path that actually takes you to that place, that level that you're trusting God to get to. There's a problem with growth. And the problem with growth is something called stagnation. Stagnation is when you start your journey of growth, then you get to a point and the growth stops. And stagnation can be a very deceptive concept because it's very possible that you've actually gotten to a point in life and you are stuck and you don't even know it. And that's the biggest danger with stagnation. The worst kind of problem is the problem you don't know you have. When you know you have a problem, naturally, you go looking for the solution. And that's why the deadliest kinds of diseases are the diseases that come, and when they come into your body, there is no instant symptom. They are the ones that actually do the worst damage. Because before you notice that something is wrong, something has really, really gone bad. And there are two kinds of people when it comes to stagnation, two levels or two kinds of stagnation. And almost all of us in this room this morning, we might fall into one of those two categories. The first category of people are those who you know that there is more to your life. You know that where you are is not where you should be. You know that this life you are living now, no biam. This is not it. There is somewhere I am going. There's somewhere I need to get to. But genuinely and honestly, you don't know how to get there. You are trying, but what you are trying is just not working. And it's almost like you can see the destination, but you just don't, you can't find the path to get there. And so it feels, that's the first category, and it feels very frustrating because everything in you tells you this is not the life I am called to live. You are surviving every day, but every day you wake up, you're like, no, this is not it. And you are hoping and trusting and praying that someday you will get there. Someday that life will manifest. Someday that new level that you're looking for will show up. You have worked hard. So hustle is not the problem. You have worked. Everything they say you should do, you have tried. Because at some point, we think that life responds to hard work. But in reality, life does not respond to hard work. If it does, the richest men in the world will not be the richest men in the world. Because there are people who work hard and they are nowhere to be found. So life really is not about hard work. And when you've tried working hard and the results have not come, you think, okay, the problem is spiritual. Let me switch to prayer. And then you pray. And you are praying because you think, if my hard work is not giving me results, then God should come and take me to that next level. And the problem with that is also that we think that God runs the world by miracles. So you are assuming that once I pray, God will just come and lift me from where I am and throw me into the life I desire. But unfortunately, God also does not run this world by miracles. So when you have tried working hard and you have tried praying and nothing is working, then you finally say, well, maybe this is the life God desired for me. Maybe this is it. Maybe I'm the one thinking that there's a better life somewhere. Maybe this is my own portion in life. Maybe this is where I'm supposed to be. This is the level I am supposed to play in life. And you begin to silence the voice of desire. Begin to silence that voice in you that wants to dream for more. Whenever the thing tells you there is more, you're like, come on, shut up. Where is the more? If you start quoting scriptures, you remind yourself that godliness with contentment is great gain. For we brought nothing into the world. We take not, after all, naked we came. And you are quoting those scriptures, but each time you remind yourself, there's a rebellion with this is not it. But you are trying to silence that voice with scriptural verses saying, after all, what shall it profit a man if he gains the whole world? It does not matter in heaven. Thank you, man. All this is I'm aspiring for you. They carry and go heaven. So you are trying to make excuses for the frustrations. And I know some of you know what I'm talking about. That is one level. You're just there, but you don't know how to get. You know that there's something, but you don't know how to get there. For that level, if you're in that category, your problem is small. It's the easier problem. There's a second category of people who are also stuck. But their own is a bit more complex. You know why? Because this second level, you've already achieved some level of success. You have broken through some barriers in life. You have done some things. You've generated some results. People around you think you are doing well. In fact, they call you boss, coach, pastor. There are all manner of titles that come with a level of success. So people around you don't understand that you are feeling frustrated. Yes, you are at a level, but you know that this thing people are celebrating, there is more to my life than this. But somehow you're also not sure. And so, but because you don't want to look ungrateful to God for where He has brought you, you just kind of celebrate with them and say, oh yeah, I know the Lord is good, we are doing well. And you are celebrating what I call relative speed. You are driving a BMW, brand new BMW machine at 100 kilometers per hour. And you are overtaking people driving keke napep who are driving at 30, at 20, at 40. But because you are passing them, you think you are fast. So, they say in the country of blind men, a one-eye man is the king. So you have one eye and everybody is blind and you're like, yeah, I'm the leader here. And so your 100 miles per hour feels fast. But the person who built the machine looks at you and is saying, excuse you, this thing is supposed to run at 300 miles per hour. You are operating below half of your capacity. What makes you think you are doing well? What makes you think you have achieved? You have written a book and they call you, you've added author to your profile. But in the books, the person who built the capacity, the potential in you says, by now you should have written 12 books. That should be in 13 or 15 different languages. But you've settled with one. So you've settled at a level of success, and you don't even realize that you have settled. You are also stuck. But externally, it does not look like you are stuck. You are celebrating, people are saying, oh, well done, sir. And sometimes we've let the environment define what success should be like. So, because we live in an environment where the fastest runner is running at 50 kilometers or 60, once you're at 80, you're like, oh yeah, I'm doing well now, I'm okay. And so, these are two levels of stagnation. Whether you're any of these levels you are, you need to be able to unlock the next level of your growth. And I'm sure that it is because of you that God put this conference together. Because somehow God is in the midst of this meeting, God is going to be showing you how to get to the next level. For those of you in the first category, give me the next slide. Your own problem is easy, like I said. The problem is that you are laboring, but you have not figured out how to do the things that you need to do. I love this scripture a lot, Ecclesiastes 10:15. It says what? The labor of the foolish wearieth every one of them. Why? For he knoweth not how, because he knoweth not how to go to the city. For everything you want to do in life, there is a how for doing it. That's why I said, life does not respond to hard work. Life responds to hows. If you understand how things are meant to be done, the picture on that screen is a Rubik's Cube. How many of you have actually ever attempted to fix a Rubik's Cube before? You can do that thing for 1 week, it will not work. I have one. My children have been doing that thing. They do it, I don't know how to do it. I have students in our school. We have a group of students. In fact, the last time we did an event in our school, they made it a performance. They came, they said, asked us to scatter it. 3 of them came, and in less than 60 seconds, all of them fixed it. And I'm like, is there no jazz behind this thing? In fact, one of them, where I finally gave up, one of them said he was going to do it blindfolded. The video is online. My own student fixed Rubik's Cube blindfolded. I'm like, okay, I give up. But you see, you know what that reminded me? And don't attempt to do things until you've understood the how. When you try to do things without understanding the how, you will labor like a fool. And the labor of fools leads to what? Weariness. You will be working hard, but there will be no results. And you just wonder, and it will look like God does not like you, like God hates you, like God is not on your side. I mean, so if you are in that WhatsApp group, what God is going to be teaching you today is, how do I go from here to there? Because any level you are desire to be, whatever level you see your destiny at, from where you are to getting there, there is a proven how that works 100% of the time. If you don't understand how, as a matter of fact, whenever God wants to take you to that next level, God won't just come and lift you and take you there. What God does when you pray is that he shows you the how. God wanted to bless Jacob. And the deal was Jacob needed flock that were speckled and spotted. Did God throw sheep and goat from heaven to Jacob? What did God do to Jacob? He showed him a method. If you do this, you will get this result. That is where God comes in. God shows you, God opens your eyes. So what God is going to do here in category 1, what God needs to do is to open your eyes to see what you need to do. And once you see what you need to do, you know what you need to do, and you do it, it is impossible not to generate the result. It's impossible because the Bible says it, as long as the earth remains, seed time and harvest, hot and cold, night and day. There are systems God has put in the place. They are unbreakable. He does not break them. He's going to, as long as you can engage with them, you will get the results. The second category of people now are the ones who, before you also go back to the how, there's actually something in the middle. I'm actually going somewhere. And because I want to merge the two before I now start talking about the house. Why the second category is a bit complex is because externally, it does not look like you're stuck. It does not look like you have any problem. In fact, you can't even complain to people that your life is not working. Because when you complain to them, what do you want them to say? So people who are celebrating you, they are saying, cut soap for me. And you're telling them, if I want more. And they're like, now. I mean, it sounds unreasonable sometimes. People come to you and say, you are discontented with where you are, but because you see that there are people who are looking up to you, even at that level, your current life is their prayer point. So, when they hear you complain, you can't even pray in public. So you can't express your discontent in public because how will those people who are looking up to you even feel? And sometimes you are even afraid to acknowledge the fact that you need more. You just build around. Give me the next slide. And so this second category, before you can break out, there's something that you must acknowledge. Because you must agree that there's something keeping you, and I call it's actually fear. It does not look like fear, but it's actually fear. You know, there's a quote by Carl Jung. It says, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will control your life and you will think it is fate. Fate, F-A-T. There are some things that are subconscious in our minds that are actually dictating our lives, and until you are aware of what is controlling your life, you won't realize, just think that, well, maybe this is just how life is meant to work. But no, something is controlling your life. Deep down within you, you are afraid to attempt bigger things. You are afraid to step out. Because sometimes, now, I don't want to dwell too much on this, but there's a lot of background situations happening here. You know, sometimes we achieve some level of success, and we are not really sure how we got there. And sometimes you are like, I know I'm here. I know I've done this. But can I repeat this? Am I sure that there is no accident? It's not just luck. Am I sure that God is not just something that just happened and brought me here? And when you want to break into new levels, sometimes you just think, are you sure? What if I try something new and it fails? Let me just stay with my reputation of success at this level and keep it close. Let me just stay here. You are afraid to attempt bigger things because you are not sure if they're going to work. And it's still the same problem because the how is missing. And also sometimes it's because some of us are pitying God. You feel like whenever I ask for more, God is unhappy with me. I'm no longer, I'm ungrateful to God because I'm asking for more. This is what happens. We come to a restaurant run by God, the Almighty. On the menu is anything and everything you can ask for. And God says, place your order. If you were in such a restaurant, what will you do? Somebody said, hey. God runs the restaurant. There's nothing you can ask for that's not available. What will you ask for? But you see, you know what we do many times? We are busy, grateful for the crumbs and the leftovers. We experience some crumbs and we're like, this one safe. God, this one is good enough. I'm okay with this. That's why I say there's some fear of, will God give me? Can I really handle the next level? Is this thing possible? Is just a fragment of my imagination? Am I just the one thinking of what is possible? But let me remind you something. Give me my next slide. Whatever you are experiencing in life right now is not a function of what is possible. It's a function of what you've been able to attract. Everything you have in your life right now does not define what God has placed available. It defines what you have been able to receive or attract into your life. This understanding can change your life if you realize it. That availability is not the problem. The real problem is that your life is like a magnet. You only pull what you can pull. So this is a magnet, and these are metals. Every magnet has what we call a magnetic field. The magnetic field of a magnet is the distance within which this magnet can pull magnetic elements from. A magnet that has a 2-meter magnetic radius, anything outside of 2 meters is not going to pull it in. But whatever comes into that field is going to attract it. Your life is a reflection of what you've been able to attract. You know what that means? In business, the money you are making is not the money available in the market. It's the money your own business is able to pull in. You are in fashion, you are in food, you are in healthcare, you are in education, you are in transportation. The money your business is making does not define what is available in the economy. There is more out there, but what you have is what you've been able to attract. Even as an individual, the money in your bank account right now is not a reflection of the money in the Nigerian economy. It's a reflection of what you have been able to attract into your own bank account. And so, whenever you need more, the problem is not that there is no more. The problem is that this is what I have been able to attract. And this is not just about material things. Even as a pastor, the members in your church are not all the people in the city. The city can have 2 million people, and your church can have 200 people. What defines how many people come to church? Who you can attract. Unfortunately, or rather interestingly, even in God is the same thing. The dimensions of God that we experience as is not what God is able to do. It's what we have been able to press into. The dimension of God that you experience does not define what God is able to do. Meaning, what you experience about God does not define God's capacity. It defines your own capacity to collect. God can do more than He is doing in your life. If you can take more, He can do more. A friend of mine is a pastor. One of the non-major cities, I think it's Ado-Ekiti or Akure or something. And in that city, they built an auditorium, 700-seater auditorium. And this guy was excited, celebrating. We were dedicating the hall. He was not telling me this. He knelt down and was thanking God, Father, see what you have done. And God said, this is not what I have done. This is what you could take. You are saying 700 capacity is what I can do? You could take 700 and that's what you have. God was telling him, if you wanted 7,000, I can do it. If you wanted 70,000, I can do it. If you wanted 700,000. So when you are seeing things in your life, it's not because God has not reached his limit. But there's this scripture I love in the Bible. I think it's 2 Kings 3 or something about when the Israelites went to war and they needed water. And they called the prophet. And the prophet said, make this valley full of ditches. You will not see wind. You will not see rain. But this valley will be filled with water. You know what God was saying here? I am supernatural. How the water will come is not your business. But after the water has come, this amount of water you will have is a function of the size of ditch that you dug. If you dug a 2-liter ditch, at the end of the day, how much water will you have? 2 liters. If you dug reservoir of 500 liters, how much water will you have? The things we experience in life are not God's fault. They are ours. Wherever you are operating in life, don't blame God, sir. It's you. It's me and you. So if we will experience anything different, we will have to be able to attract different. And that's why I love my next slide. Show me that one. It says, the problem is not availability. The problem is what? Attractability. There is abundance in the universe. See, God has put abundance. God is the Almighty. God is unlimited. We cannot exhaust God. So whatever you are not experiencing right now, there's something you desire and it's not happening. It's not because it's not available. It's because you've not been able to attract it. And this concept of a magnet, see, the day I understood this thing, there is a level of toiling that ceased in my own life. I realized, wait a minute. So it's not the environment, it's me. Where you live does not matter. That is why 2 people can live in the same city and be having 2 different experiences. Because what matters is this magnet can pull. You can live in Lagos, you can live in Jos, you can live in Makurdi, and your magnetic field reaches Canada. You will pull resources from Canada to wherever you are. Somebody can go to Canada physically and will not attract anything there. So changing location is not the problem. Sometimes we think it's the environment and we start thinking, oh, if only I move. A lizard in Lagos does not become an alligator in London. Thank you, sir. If you are a lizard. So, if your magnet cannot pull anything in Nigeria, it won't pull anything anywhere. That's why I said, the labor of the foolish wearied them. When you don't understand how, you will think that, oh, so it is because of where I am. It's because of if only I change my location. If only, and this is I'm telling you, the day I discovered it personally, things changed for me. I now realized that, oh my God, it's not about where I live. In fact, that was when I started loving my city. I live in Uyo. I mean, some of you know already. My pastor is here. Okay, yeah. Our newest visitor in Uyo, Pastor Mecca. I love the city is beautiful, calm, quiet, lovely. But the day I discovered that from this city, anything can meet me here, I stopped struggling. I run a coaching program, paid coaching. People from 5 continents joined that program. I live in Uyo. I don't publicize it. I don't announce it. Just how do they find me and come to you? Pastor Volarin is here. You know what I'm talking about. When we are having meetings sometimes, we're trying to, okay, people in Australia, what time are you? People in Asia, we're trying to find time to meet. Because, and the person that is talking sits in one village where? The problem is not availability. The problem is. Now, we've established that. You understand that. Good. Now that I've laid that foundation, the first step to unlocking your next level, give me the next slide, is a combination of 2 things, discontent and desire. These 2 things are the starting points for exponential growth. You want to unlock a new level of life, these 2 things must come together. Because you cannot get what you don't desire, and you cannot change whatever you are not discontented about. Meaning, whatever you permit in your life will continue. A day must come in your life where you say, no, this is enough. And it's scriptural. Isaac came, blessed Jacob. Esau came, the official birthright owner by chronological order, came to Isaac. And Isaac said, I have blessed your brother. He's taken the blessing, he has gone. My father, one blessing. He said, no, there's no blessing. I've blessed him everything. My father, one blessing. But can you give me that scripture? Genesis 27:40. Genesis 27:40. And there's something Isaac said, because when Isaac said, I have no blessing for you. But in the midst of that conversation, he gave him a hack. I like it. Can you give me the thing, NIV or something? There's a way NIV puts it that I love. Say, by the sword shall thou live. You will live by the sword, and you will save your brother. Can we read that last part together? But when you grow restless, it does not matter what has been given to your brother. Oh, he's ahead of you. Everybody is moving, and you are where you are. You don't have the blessing. I've not blessed you. But there's another condition for unlocking it. The day you get tired and say this nonsense is enough. Restless. The day you get it and say, I'm not doing again. As long as you are comfortable with what's happening in your life, no Allah, we did here. Nothing will change. But there's a restlessness that must be activated and say, I know that there's more. And I am tired of settling. I am tired of being contented. You know what contented? Contentment with great gain. You say, no, there is more. Because I don't know why I've met a lot of Christians, many of us in the church. I know they are not here, but I know that there are some of them. Maybe you wandered into this place, who for some strange reason believe that righteousness or Christianity is synonymous with smallness and poverty. Because you misread the story of Lazarus and the rich man. And Lazarus was poor and went to heaven. And the rich man was rich and went to hell. And somewhere in your mind, a pattern established. Poor men go to heaven. Rich men. Is that in your Bible? No, sir. No, ma. Righteous men go to heaven. And sinners go to hell. That's the pattern. And of all the people in the Bible that you saw, it's Lazarus that is your own mentor. As in, you did not see Abraham. You did not see David. You did not see Solomon. You did not see Job. Abraham, strangers visit his house and they kill cow for strangers. As in, they are not on the visitors list. Random passers say kill cow for them. That's how rich he is. 318 men, fighting men, live in his house. They have families. All of them eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner in his house every day. That thing that we do when we are planning event and we are doing, do reception. Wedding reception is lunch in Abraham's house. Every day. And yet, that is a man that God says, my friend. You didn't see that one in the Bible. It's Lazarus you saw. Even the Lazarus can't reach heaven. Where in go squat? So, why do I have the option of being an Abraham on earth and Abraham in heaven? And choose that Lazarus I want to be on earth. There's a discontent that must arise. That you will say, no, I'm not doing this anymore. This nonsense must end. This has to end. So you are managing. Life is beating you, pushing you here. There's a way life hits you and then you shrink. Life hits you, you shrink. When the price of rent increases, you change your neighborhood. School fees increase, change the school of the children. As in, life has pushed you. You have reached the corner. There's nowhere to push anymore. You and the wall have become one. You must get to a point where you say, this nonsense stops here. That is the first ingredient for unlocking growth. Discontent. And the second, like I said, it's a combination of two things. Discontent plus what? Desire. You cannot get what you don't want. There's a scripture that explains that. I think it's Joshua 17. If you give me that one, I think I like it. Joshua 17, verse 14 and 15. Let me show you that. Joshua 17, 14 and 15. So, the descendants of Joseph, right? Manasseh and the people of Joseph said to Joshua, why have you given us only one allotment and one portion of an inheritance? We are a numerous people, and the Lord has blessed us abundantly. Meaning, see, we are plenty. You gave us small land. Why are you managing here? Give me the next verse. And what did Joshua say? If you are numerous and the hill country of Ephraim is too small for you, what do? Go to the forest, clear land for yourself. The people collect. If you want more, there is more. If they did not complain, will they get more? He said, oh, the land is too small for you? Small problem now. Bush day. Clear bush. Take. I've given you. If you can desire more, God can give more. If you are comfortable where you are, God will go push you. God won't push you beyond some particular levels. So that's why I say, see, your next level is not God. It's not God's. It's not in God's hand. It's in your hand. It is you. And until something rises in you and says, this is the end of this. I am not doing this anymore. That is where it starts. So, if you have activated discontent, I know sometimes what God will do for you is that God will create scenarios that will get you very, very angry. Sometimes God is allowing the thing pushing you to keep pushing you, until you get to where you are no longer, there's no place to be pushed to anymore. Because something must get you angry. There are some things God cannot do in your life until He has made you angry. So sometimes the things God is allowing, it may not be the devil. It may just be God trying to wake up the necessary ingredients that will take you to your next level. But you are there being happy and contented and settling for crumbs. You are just getting leftovers and you're like, at least I have food to eat. Nevertheless, at least, at all, we they move. No, sir. You didn't come here to survive. God put you here to dominate. I'm not here to manage. So there's something that must activate. And when you have activated that, and you are angry enough, that is now where the knowledge of the how begins. Because, in all fairness, some persons have gotten angry and did not know where to channel the anger. In fact, some people got angry and channeled the anger wrongly. They thought the anger is enough. This anger, in fact, Nigeria is not working. And they used the anger to japa. And the japa did not work. When you are discontent and you want more, now you need to understand, where does more come from? Where does more come from? And give me the next slide. This is it. You see this, my will? Everything in your life operates at your level. If you understand this, there are some things you will stop struggling with. You are the center of production of all the results in your life. You are the center of gravity. Everything happening in your life comes out of who you are. You cannot generate results outside of who you are. See, it's like this. All of the segments in your life, your finance, ministry, family, business, work, marriage, they are like feedback mechanisms used to help you understand how you are doing. If you understand this, this is powerful. Your bank account is a feedback mechanism. When it becomes empty, it's not because there's no money. It's a sign that there's something in you that needs to change. There's knowledge, there's something that has expired, that needs to be adjusted. Whenever you want to tweak anything, it's from the middle. You don't change. Change does not happen from the outside to the inside. Change happens from inside to outside. At the center of everything happening in your life is you. It's like disease and symptoms. Disease causes symptoms. You feel headache. You feel malaria. This is what we do. Okay, let me use malaria as a good example. Malaria is a very popular and common disease in Nigeria. When you have malaria, what are the symptoms? Headache and fever. But let's use headache. Headache is typical of malaria. What's the cure for headache? Paracetamol or Panadol. But you are feeling headache and you think your problem is headache. What will you do? You take paracetamol. Headache will go down and come back. You take again, come down and go back. And eventually, if you can keep taking Panadol for weeks or months, malaria is still there, headache does not go. What do? Leave headache, face malaria. When you treat malaria, headache naturally disappears. All of the segments of your life are actually reflecting you. Whenever anything is not happening right in any segment, the problem is you. Where you should put energy is you. Your business is a reflection of you. Your bank account is a reflection of you. Your marriage is a reflection of you. Everything happening in your life is a reflection of who you are. What that means is this. If you want to change anything, who should you change? Because right now, in this room, we all live in the same economy, but all our bank accounts are different. It shows that it is not the external that determines those things. It is who you are. And it's when you want to explain this, it can be a little bit, let me try the word, brutal. Someone called me the other day and says, she runs a school here in Lagos, and says, my school is not growing. We're 7 years. We have not reached 50. She gave me the number. And a school in a very highbrow area of Lagos. And she said, somebody gave me your number. That if I talk to you, you can help me with school growth. I need my school to grow. And I just said, can I just go straight to the point? Say yes. I said, your school is not the problem. You are the problem. When you grow, your school will catch up with you. And I began to ask some questions. And the fact was, this diagnosis, when you don't have the right diagnosis, you have wrong prescription. You can go and be learning 21 things to do to grow your school. Oga, your business is small because you are small. When you grow, everything follows you. It's not nice to say, but I didn't come to make you happy. Some things must be said the way they are. Everything will follow you. If you grow, everything you are doing will grow. If you get stuck, everything gets stuck. So the fact that things around you have stagnated is a sign that you, as an individual, have stagnated. So to unlock all of those things, my marriage is not doing well. Marriage is not the problem. Your marriage or the situation of your own marriage does not define the institution called marriage. The people in the marriage are who defines how the marriage works. Because while one couple is having troubles, another couple is enjoying their marriage. Every marriage is a reflection of the people in the marriage. Every business is a reflection of the person running the business. Every church is a reflection of the pastor leading the church. Everything, it reflects you. So anytime you want to change anything, leave the thing, face the real person that reflects that makes things happen. If you pursue change externally, you will labor like fools. And the labor of fools does what? Weary at them. So that's why it will look like you are working hard and things are not working. You're like, but this is my business and I'm working hard. You are working hard on the wrong thing. Shift your energy to the right place and you will be amazed how results automatically begin to happen. There's this cycle I want to show you. Give me that next slide. You need to understand where your real power lies. Every problem that will manifest in your life will come in one of these three circles. Circle of control, circle of influence, and circle of concern. Your circle of control are things you have control over. Anything in this box, I can control it, I can change it. The circle of influence are things you cannot control, but somehow the things you control can affect them. And the circle of concern are things that you and me know that you don't have any control over them. They can worry you, but you can do nothing about them. Good example. The exchange rate of Naira to the dollar. Which box is it? Circle of concern. As much as it affects you, what can you do about it? Nothing. Me and you sitting down here. Maybe if you are central bank governor, you know how to. But the average person can do nothing about it. But you see, the price of food in the market, another thing. Do you determine the price of tomato or price of bread? You can't control that. It's a circle of concern. But the amount of bread on your table, is it control or concern or... You determine what amount of food you get. Let me come back closer. There are mosquitoes in Aja. There's nothing you can do about that. Circle of concern. But your bedroom, where you live, you can determine mosquito will not bite me in this room. That's circle of control. Now, why am I showing these three circles? It is foolishness to complain about something you cannot control. Your complaint cannot change it. So why are you complaining about it? At the same time, it is foolishness to complain about something you can control. If you can control it, why are you complaining? Change it. When you add the equation 1 and equation 2 together, what does it mean? Complain absolutely. It's foolishness. You don't like things, don't talk about it, fix it. You don't like the level your life is, what do? Fix it. And I've showed you in the earlier slide, you have the center of control. And what is center of control? You. You are the center of control for everything happening in your life. Things outside may be giving you concern, but when you change, everything changes. I've shared with you the formula for transformation. Whenever you want to change your life, there's a simple formula, and I'm going to touch it before I now do the last thing and then I end for today. Give me that next slide. The transformation formula. This thing here, if you understand it alone, is transforming, can change your life. That every time you desire new results, the way to get there, there's a pattern. Genesis 1:28 says, be fruitful, multiply and fill the earth, and have dominion. You saw the order. First, you have to be fruitful. You become something. When you become it, then you can multiply. There is no multiplication without fruitfulness. You are not fruitful. What is going to multiply? You are alone. What is multiplying? So the becoming, the being, precedes the doing. So when you have become fruitful, then you can multiply and fill the earth. That's a doing. Then when you multiply and fill the earth, then the having happens. You have what? Dominion. Multiplication is a doing. Dominion is a having, but it comes from what? Being. The formula for transformation: be, then do, then have. Unfortunately, the world reversed the order. And this is where your labor comes from. This is actually where the foolish labor harder. They think if I have, I can do, then I will become. The reason I'm not successful is because I'm not doing business. And the reason I'm not doing business is because I don't have capital. So if I have money, I will do business, then I will be successful. Is that the formula? No. First, you become the businessman. When you become it, then you can do it. And when you do it, it determines what you can have. There's a deception that has gone around on the street for young people. They say, fake it till you make it. That is the biggest scam that I've heard. Because go and check. Nobody saying fake it till you make it has made it. The people saying fake it till you make it, they see the fake up to today. The formula is what? Become it, then you can do it, then you can have it. I have given examples here. One of my favorite examples is just this whole idea of human beings. The things you are able to do as a person is a function of your biological makeup. As human beings, we walk on two legs. I come down, I go up, I can dance, I can jump. I have balance. Why do I have balance on 2 feet? Because I am a human being. That is how God designed me. There are animals that were designed to walk on 4 feet. No matter how hard they try, they can't walk on 2 feet. Camels can see us walking on 2 feet. A camel can it try it? Can an elephant walk on 2 legs? Why is it impossible? That's not its being. I am a human being. My being was designed to stand on 2 legs. The animal designed to stand on 4 legs cannot walk on 2 legs. Dogs, because of their proximity to us as human beings, periodically see us walking on 2 legs and want to attempt it. So if you have a dog, sometimes your dog sees you and wants to try to do like you and walk on 2 legs. How many steps can it go maximum? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it goes back to normal. Every time you try to do something without becoming it, you can't sustain it. You see somebody's results, and you're like, oh, I want to do what he's doing. Until you become who he is, you cannot do what he does. Oh, I want to have what he has. Ogasa, you cannot have what he has if you don't do what he does, and you cannot do what he does if you don't become who he is. Every transformation you are looking for, the formula is simple. Ask yourself, this thing I want to have, this thing I want to do, who do I need to become in order to do it? Unfortunately, most of our goals, when we set goals and set desire and set aspirations, our goals are doing and having goals. Go and check your goals for the year. This year, 2025, go and check what you wrote. Things to do, things to have. You didn't write things to become. That's why the doing and becoming and having have not happened yet. Because when you say, oh, I want to have this, the first question is asking, who do I need to become in order to do this, in order to have this? This is the first step of the how. The reason why many prophecies are looking unfulfilled is because when the prophecy came, God showed you what is going to happen in the future. But you forget that the man who receives a vision and the man who accomplishes the vision are never the same man. That man has to transform into the man in the vision. The Joseph that saw the sun, moon, and stars bowing to him, and the Joseph that led Egypt are not the same Joseph. Oh. You think it's the same boy in his father's house that led Egypt? Oh, come on. He spoke foreign languages. He knew macroeconomics. He knew organogram. He knew politics. He had learned. He had become a different person. Oh, you think that when he went to Pharaoh, they were interpreting for him? He had become a totally different person. You are saying, oh, I will do what Joseph did. Have you become who Joseph became? You need to go and study that pitch that Joseph made to Pharaoh. Young people, please go and study that. That pitch is a masterclass. He entered Pharaoh's palace, and in less than 5 minutes, he delivered a pitch that answered every question Pharaoh could have asked. Oh, I mean, he told him the dream, told him the result, drew organogram, gave him the economic plan, and stepped aside. There was no way Pharaoh could have said any other thing. Sometimes, I mean, he came ready. I may not have a second chance. Dropped everything. Like, okay, Pharaoh, your dream says, this is what the dream says. And Pharaoh said, what should we do? And he dropped everything at once because he had become a different person. Everything you are aspiring to, the next level that you are trusting God for. So, category 1, category 2, whatever it is, you are telling yourself, there's a life I see, there's a future I see, there's a destiny I see. The question is, after you have seen it, the most important question to ask is what? Who do I need to become? And give me the slide where I'm going to stop today. Okay, not this one. What the gap between your next level and where you are is a becoming gap. Everything you are praying for, it's a transformation. It's becoming who you need to become. But this is it. This is where I give you the final piece of how. I'm going to introduce it, and in my next session, I'm going to complete it. How do you become? Because now you said, when you become, you can do. And when you do, you can have. But the question is, this becoming, is there a process to becoming? Because even for becoming, there is a how for becoming. These 4 things are the things that make up who you are. Every time there is a problem in any of those segments of your life, I can trace it back to one of these 4 things. Every time you want to transform who you are, these 4 things must change. Your mindset, the way you think, your habits, systems and principles, your knowledge, what you know, and your people, networks and relationships, who you know. These 4 things, you cannot become a different person if these 4 things don't change. Every time you admire someone's results and you are saying, I want to behave like him, I want to do what he does. If you don't become him, you cannot do what he does. You can't have what he does. And every time you say, okay, this person is doing these things, these 4 things, if you can think like he thinks, have the routines he has, know what he knows, and know who he knows, there's nothing anybody is doing in this life you cannot do. And I say it with all sense of assurance. It doesn't work 100% of the time. 100%. So the question is, how do these 4 things determine or affect who you are? Because your mindset, the way you think, I mean, the Bible says, as a man thinketh, so he is. We think our actions drive our life, but our actions are coming from where? Our mindset. Your life will not change until your thinking changes. So the first place transformation has to start from is in your thinking. How do you think? What are the belief systems? What are the philosophies that are driving your life? Your thoughts are the birthplace of your reality. Everything you are experiencing today was once an imagination in your mind. If you cannot imagine it, it cannot happen. Even God says, be ye transformed by the renewal of your mind. It starts here. And when your mindset changes, your thoughts changes, your belief changes, your philosophies change, then you must transfer those changes into your habits and routines. Because like I said, God does not run the world by miracles. He runs the world by systems and principles. There are habits that program your life. You are what you repeat. Your life is a reflection of the things you do every day. I cannot do what anybody does if I have not built his habits. You know, sometimes we admire these successful people. Oh, you see what Dangote is doing? Excuse me, can you live like him? Do you know how many hours these guys work? Do you know their routine? Do you know what time they wake up? You can't be sleeping till 8 a.m. in the morning and you're saying that I want to be like... No, until you find out what are the habits. When last did you read a book? When last did you go for training? The habits that these people imbibe that make them successful, you don't have it. And you are saying I want to be like them. It cannot happen. So first, your mindset must change. 2, you must find out what are the habits that power success. My next level, what are the habits that will sustain me at that level? Habits are the structures that hold you when you rise. If you don't build systems, when you jump up, you will fall down. But when you grow up, you grow with support structure, you can stay up. So your systems and habits are the support structure that will carry you up. And then your knowledge. You cannot do what you don't know how to do. Every area of your life that something is not working, go and check. Most likely, there's a knowledge deficiency. There's something you don't know. Your next level requires a level of wisdom, a level of skill, and a level of abilities. Until you build those skills, abilities, and knowledge, even if grace takes you there, the door will close back. Because while favor opens doors, competence keeps you in the room. So you need to build the knowledge for the level you are aspiring to get to. Oh, God, take me to my next level. What are the things I need to know to operate and sustain that level? And then lastly, people. Your relationships and networks. Every door has a gatekeeper. It is who you know that will amplify what you know. So when you have knowledge and you have not expanded the circle of people that can take you to the next level, you can be praying. Sometimes your next level is just one person away. But you see, you must have built these 4 things, and then you are ready for the next level. When I come back in my next session, I will now dig into these 4 things and show you how do you build this, and then we can see how to get to the next level. Thank you very much.